Scourge Outbreak. I don't really know how the hell I would start out with a generic fucking game like this.
This
I don't
game is a
know.
scourge.
Yeah, is it just Scourge? No, it's Scourge Outbreak.
Amazing freaking outbreak.
Oh, oh my god, hi, hello, welcome to the Bloody Screen Podcast, everybody. I'm Brandon, I have Nikki G with
Hello.
me. Yeah, this is kind of our first, people, this is an arcade game, let's put it this way. I'm trying to figure out how the hell I'm going to start this, but it's a pretty recent arcade game, not brand spanking new, but it's came out within the last week. And, no one's heard of this game. Like, literally, I tried to look up, like, a couple, like, walkthroughs and stuff because I got stuck in an area. I was hard-pressed to find anybody talking about this fucking game. So, woo! We're one of them. Yeah.
Well, compared to your Facebook post on it, I could see why.
Oh, dude. Okay, see, this game, I'm just gonna put a little thing here. This game, I was on the Xbox Live, I was like, oh, look at this, they have this trailer for this game. I click on it. It looked way better than what I saw. Like, it was way better. I was just, like, looking at it, I was like, oh, this looks pretty interesting. 4-player kind of co-op Gears-like style, fighting aliens, and what the game turns out to be is not even a quarter as cool as what I saw. I mean, maybe I don't know why I thought that trailer was cool. I'd probably go back and look at it and be like, well, that's kind of lame, but...
So this Colonial Marine to you, pretty much?
This really kind of Colonial Marine me, and in a big way. This is actually... Okay, you know how Colonial Marines was a pretty fucking generic-ass, pretty piss-poor, first-person shooter?
Oh, hell yeah.
This is kind of like the same thing, but a third-person shooter. This is like the arcade version of Colonial Marines. And I'm not even lying about that at all. For like the basic plot, the most generic fucking plot you have. You get one of 4 characters. You get to play as Mass, this like barbaric looking, guy looks like he's straight off the set of Rage or something like that. I mean, the dude has like tattoos on his face for fuck knows reason why. Okay, you get to play as him. A girl, Amp, which is your typical short-haired badass girl. Shade, which is he's the one, if you watched our little, Bloody Time playthrough, he's the fucked up looking guy with a bunch of scratches in his face. And when you hear that dude talk, when he actually speaks, it's all like robotic. He's probably the most interesting of the bunch, but he's that typical like, oh, I am this shady badass, and, his name's Shade. Or you can play as the Bruce Willis motherfucker, who is generic white guy number 847, Stonewall. And, yeah, you get to pick one of 4 characters, or if you're playing with 4 people, everyone can pick one character. And they kind of all have their different stories. Like, I had to restart the game, of course, because, I wasn't going to just start out not knowing anything. So I restarted the game as Stonewall. And he was he had the most generic story. I should have picked a different character, but his was like, oh, he was court-martialed, and now this is his only way of redemption. Like, oh, God. You've gotta be kidding me with this. And, yeah, these guys, it's literally you're going into this base on Fuckistan. I don't know where the hell you're at. It's just some random moon planet. You're on the moon of Endor, and... You're going there. Wait,
of course, it has to be on a moon.
I think it's a moon. I really don't know. I just know we were flying and we were just did a drop ship on some planet. I don't know where, and it was a jungle-like planet. And then you drop down, and then you're trying to save this one guy from, you're just to extract him. And they sent 2 teams. Your Echo team, but then Alpha team for fuck knows reason why, because I didn't finish the game because the game. We'll get into that later, but. Alpha Team is trying to hunt him down and kill him. And, okay, here's a couple things, though. I kind of wish I would have played as Alpha Team, because at least they looked like a little bit more interesting characters. Because at least Alpha Team, they had the same, team set up with the big guy, the team leader, the chick, the, mysterious guy. They had the same setup, but those ones looked a little bit more interesting. I'm not gonna lie.
Did they have the same generic names?
I never heard any, yeah, they did, because, I think one was, something like I don't know. They had some stupid names. I'm trying to think of the name they called one of the villains who can, like, teleport. And it was something like, teleporter or something. I don't know. It was something stupid like that. It really was. What really gets me, though, is, you start out fighting these kill zone. Okay, so the trailer showed me fighting, like, aliens that kind of resembled a little bit of, like, some Dead Space creature or something like that, or the things from Starship Troopers. But instead you start out fighting these guys who all look the same. Like, every paramilitary guy goes to the same goddamn shop. And they all have the same masks. And you're just fighting these kill zone guys for, the first level. And then in the second level, that's when you start finding the aliens. But for the first level, you're just like, what the fuck is this shit? This generic cover-based shooter. This is literally like someone took everything about Gears of War, but forgot all the good parts about Gears of War, and then they just put the basic things. Like, you can get in the cover, you can blind fire, you can use the D-pad to switch weapons or press Y. And you
can roll.
Yeah, you can roll, you can shoot, and if, like, this is like Gears of 1 style though, I have to hand this game, because if you get out of cover, you will be shot to shit. You might have saw in our little playthrough, though, you can't take many bullets. On the normal difficulty, at least, you can't take shit. You just jump up and you're like, you could get hurt, then downed. But the good thing is, the game is like Gears 3, where it had no fucking challenge, because it doesn't matter if you get downed, you're always going to have teammates there to just revive you. Yeah, and so later on, they do introduce gameplay, like, we're still on. They do introduce the aliens, and the aliens... Okay, let me tell you how fucked up the aliens are, Nick, because people did not get to see this part in our playthrough. Okay, the aliens are just these little, like, spider-like creatures. They just crawl on the wall, and then you just shoot them. But I see the funniest fucking thing. This is a big glitch that's in the game. They'll sometimes do a jumping move, where they jump at you to get closer or to attack. Sometimes they would get stuck in midair. And they would just be floating there. They just sit there and just... And I'm just like... What are you on? You're just floating in...
So this really is just Alien Colonial Marines with just a new mask on it.
Yeah, it's like if you got to see your character in Aliens Colonial Marines, this is it. Like, literally, the aliens are, like, the alien creatures are so fucking generic, and then you're fighting these kill zone guys, which doesn't make any sense why you're even fighting troops. I mean, I'm sorry. It really makes the game pretty fucking lame when you're just fighting these guys that just come out of nowhere. You'll clear a room, and then you'll go press a button or whatever, you turn around, and there's like a whole army in there. You're like, where were you guys at? You guys just like, oh, hey, they're in here, and then, like, how big is this complex? How many soldiers do you guys have? You guys don't even have fucking scientists. Apparently all the scientists are fucking dead, because that's all the dead bodies you see, and the rest, all the paramilitary guys, just either killed them or something. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I really can't tell you any more about the story, though, because I'm going to be honest, I could not pay attention. It was just so bad. It was just one of those things where I just didn't give a shit. And I think one of the worst parts about this game, Nick, like, I would stop sometimes because, I'd stop to go do whatever, maybe go get something to eat or whatever. The game said I reached a checkpoint. I saw at the bottom, it said checkpoint, it said saving. I was like, okay, clearly I got to a checkpoint. Turn it off, turn it back on. It would start me at the previous check. Like, I'd be started at, like, it's checkpointed like 1.1, 1.2. I'd be like 1.7, it saved, and I quit. It'd start me out at 1.6. And so I'd have to back out of the game, go to, like, select chapter, and then go to 1.7. It would only restart you at the chapter, like, 2 chapters before. And I'm just like, I just don't understand that. It was a really piss poor checkpointing system. And the checkpointing system is far. Like, if you get killed later on in the game, it does get more challenging when you're fighting more, shit that can take a hit. And if you get killed, you have to restart an entire, like, I can't say it's more than 10 minutes of gameplay you're restarting, but it's just enough to kind of, like, say, like, okay, you guys need a checkpoint a little bit better in this game, because I don't know about you, Nick. I really don't know if you're one of these people, but I'm one of these people where, unless you're specifically how you have your checkpoints, like, kind of Dark Souls where it's part of the game, then I don't want to replay 5 minutes a game. I want to just be able to, unless I can save at any time, I don't want to replay 5 minutes of the game. if I get killed. I just want to be like, okay, you got killed, well, just fight this room again or whatever. I don't want to have to be like, well, now you have to go up the stairs, you got to listen to them talk, and you have to walk really slowly. You know what really pissed me off in this game, Nick? They brought back the Mass Effect 1 elevators. Like, alright, did you ever play Mass Effect 1?
No.
Okay, Mass Effect 1 had these absurdly long elevator rides where you just stand in an elevator for like 5 minutes. This is about the same, except for they add one little thing that made me laugh the first time, but towards the fourth time around I kind of got annoyed. They're actually playing elevator music in the elevator. So it's just like bum 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 bum, and you're just sitting there. You're just like, oh my god! And we're just sitting there, and then they'll try to have some stupid fucking conversation, and I'm just like, I don't care. I understand the big guy likes to fight, and the Stonewall guy character is like the leader, and the chick's a hard ass, and then the Shade is like a mysterious guy. I understand they're stereotypical characters that you have no depth to. I understand what you're doing there, but god damn it. You might have noticed this, Nick, because you were, messing with the video and all that stuff, but the game looks kind of shitty. And it wasn't just because because we had it at about 720p because the capture card doesn't go to full 1080, but I went to play it in 1080p, and let me put it this way. The environments look fine. But the character models look garbage. Like, literally, you see that general in the beginning? He looked exactly the same. He did not look any better from the video we put up to what I saw when I was playing the game in full resolution.
Wow.
Yeah, like, literally his mouth would just, like, move, and I'm just like, I paid $10 for this shit. I understand that doesn't seem like shit for $10, but, like, fuck. I mean, let's see. I also have to kind of I have to get mad about the game because, weapon-wise, I only saw about, 4 weapons. You get the pistol, the shotgun, the machine gun, and I think, some other, rapid-fire machine gun. And you get different varieties of that. You're like, oh, this machine gun has a better sight on it or something. But that's all you get. You don't get rockets. You don't get, you don't get any special sci-fi badass gun that, makes someone's head explode or anything. You just get those 4 weapons.
I mean, it's just one of those things. What do you expect, really, when such a generic game like this?
I know. I was hoping it would have something going for it, though. They're talking about in the game, oh, you're gonna get powers. And it was like, oh, this is gonna be cool. This is gonna, it's gonna be kind of like that Fuse game that came out last month, where everyone has their own, at least, different ability. Like, where, oh, maybe Stonewall can, he could do a force push while, Amp, she can, create a barrier, and, Mass, he can throw fireballs or something. They could all do something different. No, everyone has the same ability of, I'm gonna put a shield up, or I'm gonna slam it to the ground and push enemies back. Every character has the same ability. And I'm like, that beats the whole purpose of even having different characters. We might as well be the same. We might as well just be the palette swapped characters of the, Killzone looking enemies we're fighting. Just have us be blue instead of red. I mean, if we're just gonna be that type of people, what's the point? Which really pissed me off because the alpha team that you're hunting down in game, they all have different powers. One of the alpha chicks, she can control men's minds, and one of the dudes can teleport. I'm like, so are we the shitty team or something?
Exactly. I mean, this is something you expect them that really do have different powers, Shade, the mysterious guy, to maybe be able to turn invisible for a period of time, or the Mass, the big kind of brute guy, to be just kind of like a tank, just kind of be able to knock into people. And
exactly, yeah. I mean, just okay, why do we all get the same fucking power, but those guys can, they all get different powers. I don't understand it. And honestly, the power was so fucking useless, that shield they gave me. It was unreal. Literally, I put up a shield, and it would last for like 2 seconds, and then it would just go away, and I'd start to get shot again. And apparently my AI partners knew how to use that way better, because I tried to do what they did, because they'd be able to move the shield with them. I couldn't figure out how to do that. I'd be like, oh, maybe they're just holding LB down. No, that would just make me do the ground pound, and I'm out of superpower. And the superpower shit's very inconsistent, too, where, like, you'll just randomly get half of it at the bar, and other times you'll just lose it. I'm like, I didn't even use it. Why am I losing this? So it was really inconsistent on how it, like, I didn't even know how I got it. And, let's see. I mean, literally, this game, I mean, I don't know what else I can add to it besides this is really just, I would forgive this game if it was at least trying something new. If it was at least attempting to do, like, Inversion. Inversion was kind of just another Gears knockoff where it wasn't nothing special, but at least tried to, like, it at least let you fuck with gravity and shit. And, it tried to have a, twist in the story and all that crap. And this game, it's not even trying. I think it's just trying to sucker people out to giving them money. Like, literally, alright. I'm gonna tell you where I stopped playing this game though, Nick.
Please.
Okay, it's about, I want to say I only made it to level 2. There's only 4 levels, so I made it about halfway through this game. I was almost done with level 2, and they bring in these drop ships. These dropship things that, they're shooting rockets and whatever. You fight one. The first one you fight is stupid because they're like, they're telling me I have to throw grenades. I'm like, well, clearly I wouldn't have to throw a grenade at a, flying ship. Yes, I did. I had to try to time my grenade perfectly and hit the ship. It wasn't that hard once I figured out what the fuck I was doing. Then you go across this little bridge, and then I get to this cutscene where another ship is flying and it's shooting rockets, and your character gets on the turret and shoots the rockets. I'm like, okay, clearly that's what I have to do. I'm doing this for a good half an hour, and it just keeps adding more rockets. It's like shooting 4 at me at a time, and if you get hit by a rocket, you gotta wait to get revived again. I'm like, okay, this is seriously going on forever. And I was trying to, I see enemies over there shooting. I was like, okay, maybe they want me to focus on the enemies. So I'm trying to kill the enemies. Enemies don't quit spawning. I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck you want, game. And I was hard pressed to try to find a goddamn walkthrough to tell me what the hell I was missing. And so I eventually just said, fuck this game. I'm not doing this level anymore because at first I thought it fucked up maybe and I restarted. No. I had no idea what I was supposed to do. Later on,
and there were no clues.
No.
They're gonna light up a certain section or anything like that.
Hints. Like, I thought the cutscene was supposed to show me a hint by him shooting like the rockets or something. I tried shooting the ship out of the sky, wasn't doing any damage to him. Like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? So I eventually just give up and say, fuck it, we're just gonna review it the way it is. And I delete it. And so then I get online, I was like, I finally found something that showed me what I was supposed to do. Well, there's this tower in the background, not doing anything. I was supposed to be shooting that the whole fucking time. It doesn't even tell me I'm supposed to shoot that. It doesn't mention it at all. But yeah, the guy's shooting and I was like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. I was about to re-download the game, but I realized, this is gonna take forever to download this fucking game. So, fuck you, game. Like, literally, it drove me nuts. I was like, I'm not asking for a game to handhold me, but if you're gonna have me shoot at something in the fucking background, you might want to point it out or something. You might want to be like, hey, by the way, maybe you should, or have a character, like with the dropship and the grenades, the characters wouldn't shut up saying, hey, you better use grenades. I'm like, okay, where are you guys' help with the other thing? Like, shoot the big pylon, look at that, shoot that thing.
I think the characters were tired of the game.
I know, they were just sitting there like, dude, I don't care. I just don't. And they were assholes too because the rockets were like aiming for, they would just stand where the rockets would fly. They would just stand there. So eventually I usually don't even revive my teammate unless all 3 are downed. And they would get down quite a bit because the rockets wouldn't stop. It was a huge fucking pain in the ass. It basically killed this, this generic fucking game went from just, to just, it just annoyed me. And that's the biggest problem. I mean, this game is boring. It really is. Nick, you probably could attest to this. When you get a game that doesn't do anything interesting, you really just kind of go on autopilot and you just say, I don't fucking care.
Exactly. You just skip all the cutscenes. You've seen it all before. Yeah. What's the point? Just play.
I was trying to pay attention to the cutscenes. I was trying to say, well, maybe it just had a shitty beginning, and I'll try to get into it. It never got better. It never got interesting. The game was just bad. And you know what? I probably would have forgave it if it was bad, but trying to do something interesting. I mean, literally, if it was trying to do something, and it was still bad, like, I would probably, I feel bad. I feel actually bad for giving Omerta F, because, I mean, granted, that game was shit, but at least it was trying to do something different than most games don't do. This game is just trying to copy. It was literally like, I just don't get what Microsoft is thinking when they approve this game, but they won't approve some of the shit I've seen, like, on Steam and stuff. I'm like, well, why don't you guys throw that game on the console? Like, I wish I could play FTL on the Xbox Live Marketplace, because that would be awesome. I think I've complained about this game long enough. It has no redeeming qualities, but I guess it's not completely broken. It has some fucking weird glitches, like the aliens that can float in midair, apparently. Or the enemies that will sometimes just, they have this weird mechanic where if you shoot an enemy up close, black blood gets thrown on your screen for whatever reason. And first of all, this is a third-person action game. I don't really need shit flying on my screen. So, but anyways, I'm gonna, it's not unplayable. And I try to reserve the, fuck you rating for unplayable games. So I'm just gonna give this a D-. D-. This is a game, I want people to avoid it. I don't want anyone to spend money, and I want the developers to lose money on this. I want one of their kids to look at this game and say, like, Dad, this was a piece of shit. I want that to happen. I want them to, we see all these good companies that make good games go out of business. I don't want to see them go out of business, but I want to see them lose a lot of money. Yeah, that's our review of Scourge Outbreak.
Well, I'm just gonna give it an M from.
You're gonna do what?
I'm gonna give it an M for money grab.
Oh, no, the goddamn. I would say this is a money grab, but I just want to know how they convinced Microsoft to advertise this game. You think someone at Xbox Live would be like, this game's kind of bad, guy. I don't really want to advertise this. This game's bad. Don't even check it out. Don't even try the tutorial. Just, it's bad. That's it, everybody. All I can say is, God damn it. That's like a day of my life I'm never getting back. Alright, good night, everybody.